So you're wondering how much spiritual life coaches make. And what I will share with you in this video is that in my opinion, most of them make entirely too little. Some of the mindset blocks and challenges that get in the way of spiritual coaches making what they're worth, and some ways to up your value proposition so you can feel confident and comfortable charging what you're worth for your services. So the problem in the world of spiritual coaching is that most spiritual coaches are broke. And the reason they're broke is because of a belief. The belief that because what they're doing is spiritual, they shouldn't be charging for it. Now, sometimes that belief is totally conscious and they're aware of it, but most of the time it's unconscious. The problem is that so often in our culture, in our religious traditions, spiritual people are expected to forego the luxuries of life. Think about it. Priests and monks are required to take vows of poverty. Monks walk around barefoot in Thailand, right? There's this association between spirituality and poverty of the physical world. Like if you have all this connection to the divine, maybe you don't need really nice food or really pretty outfits. There's this underlying belief often that if we have this deep spiritual connection, then we don't need or shouldn't want the luxuries of the human world. And actually, in my personal belief system, and this may or may not resonate with you, I really believe that we're on this planet to have all of it, to have that divine connection and also to fully experience the beauty and pleasure of being alive through food and through beautiful experiences. So I don't believe that there's this divorcing or this separation between the divine and the human, but rather that there's this possible integration. So from that perspective, I invite you to consider that being a spiritual coach is something that adds so much value to people and to the planet that it deserves to be compensated richly and lovingly and with positive energy. So the solution to this is to recognize that while spiritual connection with the divine is and always can be free, the act of you taking the time and energy to guide someone on that journey to find greater connection to the divine is a beautiful life path and is worth a lot of compensation because it's something that can have one of the biggest and most transformative effects on someone's life. So yes, you might decide that you don't want to charge for your services, that you want to give it away for free. And I invite you to consider that there are some people out there, and it doesn't have to be a lot of people, who would handsomely pay you for the guidance to create a deeper connection to God and to the divine. So before I get into exactly how to charge and how to make money from these spiritual mentoring programs and services, I want to invite you to please click on the like button and subscribe to my channel so that you find out when I have more amazing videos like this one. So there are a lot of different ways that a spiritual coach can make money. The first and most obvious is one-on-one coaching. Now, one-on-one coaching can range anywhere from about $50 an hour to $500 or even $1,000 an hour. Now, for some of you, that might sound outrageous, and for some of you that might sound like, child's play, but that's a pretty broad range. Now, at the low end of that range is people who are basically just selling time for money, selling commoditized services. Now, at the higher end of that range for these spiritual coaches, these are people really, truly selling some sort of spiritual transformation or outcome. Let me give you an example. I have a client who I helped her develop her spiritual coaching program. And the way she delivers that program is through retreats and through a 1-year program. Now, her 3-day deep dive intensive retreat goes for $2,500. Now, that might sound like a lot to some of you. To some of you, it might not sound like much at all. But essentially, the reason she's able to charge that price point for that 3-day experience is because there's a huge outcome there. Basically, in that experience, you are going to connect to your own divine nature and feel the presence of God. You feel the divine connection with God. Now, that's worth something. And then the beauty of her program is once you've had that taste of that experience, inevitably you want more. Inevitably you want to go deeper. So her program, she invites people into a 1-year program that costs about $25,000. Now, in that program, you spend a whole year developing these practices for deeper and deeper connection to the divine. Practices like spiritual meditation, practices like embodiment practices, receptivity practices, all these different practices that help you connect more deeply to the divine. Now, I know many people who are a member of this program and have not only paid it lovingly, willingly, joyfully for 1 year, but have stayed 2 and 3 years. And I'm talking about myself. I actually signed up for this program. So that's an example of someone who has kind of a higher price point. Another thing that you can sell as a spiritual coach is you can sell a group program, which is what I just described. You can also sell ceremonies and rituals. So you can do custom ceremonies like wedding ceremonies, blessing ways to help women transition from maiden to mother, women who are expecting and going to give birth to a baby. So there's all these different life transitions that you can develop rituals and ceremonies for, and you can sell those. Now, one ritual or ceremony might cost, as little as a few $100 and as much as a few $1,000s, especially depending on the audience and the market. Other things that you can sell as a spiritual coach include educational programs and seminars. So I've seen programs that cost a couple $100s, and I've seen programs that cost several thousand in order to learn and develop a new skill or practice in the spiritual space. So as you can see, essentially, you can earn as much as you want as a spiritual coach. The key is, how much do you think you can earn? It really starts all up here, your own mindset and belief system about what to charge for, how to charge, and how much to charge. You're only limited by your own beliefs. And I highly encourage you to consider the high value that you deliver as a spiritual coach and pricing your products and services in relationship to that. If you're interested in diving deeper into how to set up and structure and market and sell your spiritual coaching practice, then let's connect. You can book a free strategy session with me to explore your business and your business model at superstaractivator.com/go. And I promise you, on this call, I'll be able to give you some ideas and some value, whether we decide to continue working together or not. Either way is fine.